Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from the campus of Weymouth High School in Weymouth, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's high school varsity boys soccer contest between the hosting Wildcats of Weymouth High School and the visiting Brookline High Warriors. Shout out to anyone hopping over from our JV live stream. As that one ended in a scoreless tie between the Warriors and Wildcats. Brookline certainly hoping for a better result here, although they are going up against a Weymouth team that's been off to a very hot start to the season so far. Weymouth with a 4-0-1 record. They opened the season with a 3-3 tie against Braintree, and since then they've been on a tear. They've scored at least 2 goals in every game as part of a 4-game win streak. Brookline, meanwhile, in sort of a reverse situation, coming into this game with an 0-4-2 record. They are coming off a 1-1 tie on Tuesday against Framingham, where they let up the game-tying goal in stoppage time to just barely deny them the chance at their first win of the season. So this promises to be quite an interesting one here. Brookline going to be playing hard to try and get their first win. Let's take a look at the rosters coming into today. But first, a reminder, this broadcast is brought to you in part by Esch Dental, located right in Coolidge Corner. Book your next dental appointment with local dentist and BHS Sports parent Dr. Brandon Esch for the non-corporate personalized dentistry our community deserves. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eschdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to easchdental.com. And as always, you can see the logo for Esch Dental in the bottom middle of your screen. And you can find that same link and phone number I just mentioned in the description section down below, where you will also find a link to the official Venmo account of the Friends of BHS Soccer Booster Club, which covers all 6 Brookline High soccer teams, boys and girls, varsity, JV, and freshmen. So if you would like to show your support for the program there, find that link down in the description down below. But let's take a look at the rosters coming in today. We'll start with the home team over here on our right with their maroon jerseys and yellow jersey numbers, the Weymouth High Wildcats. Going in order of jersey number for the Wildcats, first off, we have a junior goalie, number 1, Anthony Gianandrea. Next, we have a junior, number 2, Harry Apositis. A senior captain, number 3, Sean Flynn. A senior, number 4, Nate Pujols. A junior, number 5, Daniel Silva. A senior captain, number 6, Mateus Souza. A junior, number 8, Gabriel Ray. A junior, number 9, Richard Furtado. A senior captain, number 10, Michael Primo. A junior, number 11, Mason Fasoli. A junior, number 12, Diogo Moreira. A senior captain, number 13, Cameron Walty. A junior, number 14, Garrett Burke. A junior, number 15, Ali Bowie. A senior, number 16, Tucker McGee. A junior, number 17, Kawan Viana. A junior, number 18, Bo Ling Huang. A junior, number 19, Gabriel Rodriguez. A senior, number 21, Sandro Marone. A senior, number 22, Rodney Lopes. A junior, number 23, Roman Souza. A senior, number 24, Braden McDevitt. And a senior goalie, number 31, Sam Farron. Head coach of the Weymouth High boys soccer team is Bill McEachern. So that is the roster for the Weymouth High Wildcats. Now let's move over to our left where we see warming up in their white jerseys with blue jersey numbers, the Brookline High Warriors. Going in order of jersey number for Brookline, first off we have a sophomore, number 2, Sammy Treestman. Next, a senior captain, number 4, Jack Fitzgerald. A junior, number 6, Kai Putney. A junior, number 7, Jacob Friedman. A senior, number 8, Ben Speicher. A senior, number 9, Maury Shende Ruiz. A freshman, number 10, Danmarth Dovillier. A junior, number 11, Koya Nicoli. A junior, number 12, Ryan Goldberg. A sophomore, number 13, Julian Weil. A sophomore, number 14, Jeffrey Dong. A junior, number 15, Santi Sierra. A junior, number 16, Jad Torres. A senior captain, number 17, Grady Ames. A senior, number 18, Josh Bittner. A junior, number 19, Travis Applebaum. A senior, number 20, Aiden Kapusta. A senior captain, number 22, Nate Lockwood. A junior, number 24, Wally Lawrence. A junior, number 25, Jonah Lippman. A senior, number 26, Frederick Schreiber-Wachnick. A senior, number 27, Timur Tunkman. A freshman, number 30, Lars Peterson. A senior goalie, number 98, Luca Campbell. And a junior goalie, number 99, Alec Smagula. Head coach of the Brookline High boys soccer team is Kyle Bolu-Jones. So those are the rosters coming in to this one. Remember, folks, if I am messing up the pronunciation of any names, I encourage you to correct me in the live chat. And if there are any other comments you would like to make, even if it's as simple as Go Brookline or a shout out for your favorite player, or you want to let us know where you're tuning in from, those are always fun reasons to participate in the live chat. And then, of course, if you enjoy this broadcast, be sure to hit that like button. Brookline and Weymouth faced off once last year in an October 5th contest that Brookline won by a 1-0 final score. That game was played in Brookline, I believe, as last year I was actually out here for a doubleheader for the girls' team, JV and varsity. So the boys were playing at home that day. But this year it's the girls at home against Weymouth while the boys play on the road. Warriors versus Wildcats here in Weymouth. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and you are watching Brookline High Soccer.
deflecting across. Corralled by Brookline. Shot is in! Wally Lawrence throwing it into the box. Header from Lockwood, knocked down, kicked, it is in! Grady Ames! Can he deliver the winner here? Yes!
All right, we're soon going to get this one underway. A minute and a half on the pregame clock. Oops, just realized that forgot to switch my scoreboard graphic. Do we just have a brief disconnect there? Whoops. I'm not sure what that was about, but thankfully seem to be reconnected. The Wi-Fi's been doing good for us out here in Weymouth so far today, and I'm hoping it stays strong for us throughout this contest. Reminder, as always, that you know, if the Wi-Fi gives us trouble, that I always record these broadcasts while live streaming them. And so if any video gets cut out due to Wi-Fi during the live stream, it'll come out in a fully recorded version, which I can upload later tonight. Oh, we're going to get starting lineups here.
Please rise, remove your hats, caps, and headwear as we honor this great nation with the singing of the national anthem.
All right, we got our starting lineups and national anthem. And now here we go. All right, two teams break their huddles and are taking to the field. Starting in net for Brookline, you can see him in his black jersey there, number 99, Alex Magula. Starting in net for Weymouth, you can see in his green jersey there, number 1, Anthony Gianandrea. Looks like Weymouth will get the opening possession of the first half, starting from our right, Brookline from our left. And now we just await the opening whistle. And here we go. Weymouth gets it started, and it's booted across the field by number 6, Mateus Souza, but curves out of bounds. It'll be Brookline ball. Number 8, Ben Speicher throws it in. Knocked away by Weymouth, but goes right back to Speicher. Passes it up for Nate Lockwood, but he gets surrounded. Stolen away by number 11, Mason Fasoli, and he draws the over-the-back foul. It's going to be an early free kick for the Wildcats. We've had gusting winds all day today, and you wonder how that might affect some of the higher flying kicks that these teams might launch towards the net. And this might be our first look at that as Souza is lining up to take this free kick. Well within range to take a shot here, or he might go for a crosser into the box. Let's see what he does. Oh, they're moving it back a few yards from about the 25 to about the 28.5-yard line of the football field. Souza's kick curves in, headed back out by the Brookline defense. Nate Lockwood got his head on it there. Grady Ames' pass curves the wrong way off his foot, though, intercepted by Daniel Silva. And Jack Fitzgerald has to kick it out of bounds. It'll be a Weymouth throw-in. Quickly thrown in up the line by number 24, Braden McDevitt. But Fitzgerald does a good job boxing out number 19, Gabriel Rodriguez. And it rolls out the back end, and it'll be a Brookline goal kick. Smagula gives it to Jonah Lippman, who boots it upfield, and a hard push in the back by number 4, Nate Pujols against Brookline's Wally Lawrence, draws the foul. Setting up for the free kick for the Warriors is number 9, Fitzgerald, kicks it away. Lockwood couldn't take it, blocked by Rodriguez, but Fitzgerald gets the favorable deflection, out of bounds, Brookline ball. Looks like we had another brief disconnect there. I don't know what's going on with the Wi-Fi right now. Might be the slightly stormy weather, as that pass from Waltz is kicked away by Applebaum. Now being taken up by Jeffrey Dong. His pass misses Lawrence. And that's going to roll out of bounds. It'll be Weymouth ball. In fact, it'll be a goal kick for Gianandrea. Simply taps it in for Souza, who kicks it upfield. Dong, a nice move to get the favorable deflection, make it Brookline ball. Throw in, off ahead. Souza keeping it in bounds and clears it. Brookline probably needed some more forward pressure there to try and force Souza to do something different there. But a good clearing effort as that deflection from Lockwood bounces all the way back to Gianandrea. Gianandrea punts it. Bouncing. Off a couple of heads. And it's corralled by Fasoli, defended by Speicher. Speicher knocks it out of bounds. Throw in. Kept in bounds, sent back to Fasoli. Tries the kick. It's blocked by Fitzgerald. Out of bounds, still Weymouth ball. Throw in. Off ahead and out of bounds. It'll be a Brookline goal kick as that went off the head of number 10, Michael Primo. Smagula simply passes it out to Lippman. Lippman up the middle for Dong, taps it back for Applebaum. Up the line for Lawrence, but it deflects off his foot and up to his hands. That'll be a handball. Free kick for the Wildcats. They'll have Souza set up for this free kick. Deflects off ahead across the box. And Speicher fights out with it. Speicher now kicks it up the near sideline. It's a race to the ball. And it is a race won by Sean Flynn. But good evasive moves by Friedman to prevent Flynn from deflecting it off him. And so it'll be a Brookline throw-in deep in Weymouth territory. Speicher throws it in. Bouncing around. Lawrence trying to fight his way through. Crosser! Oh, just out of reach for Jeffrey Dong as he was crashing to the box. This pass intercepted. Lockwood swoops in and takes it. Pass across the middle for Jacob Friedman. Friedman taps it forward for Dong. Back to Friedman. Friedman kicks, deflects. Cleared out by Flynn. Now taken by Speicher. He kicks it forward into traffic. Stolen away from Koya Nicoli by Primo. Pass up for Rodriguez, who sends it over to Fasoli. Fasoli back to Primo. Now up to Walty. Walty out to Fasoli on the near side. Fasoli tries a crosser. Diving snag by Alex Smagula. Prevents any chance that kick might have had of finding a Wildcats player. Smagula with a big boot across midfield, headed down by Flynn, and that's going to roll out of bounds, Brookline ball. Little over 7 minutes into the game. No score as of yet as Lawrence throws back to Speicher. Speicher, tap to Lockwood, back to Speicher, now over to Nicoli. Across to Applebaum. Applebaum looks, kicks it up the middle, misses everybody, and it's taken off a couple hops by Gianandrea. Punted towards midfield, off the head of Rodriguez. Now off the head of McDevitt. Off the deflections, Nicoli gets pushed in the back, and they blow the whistle on that one. Brookline was trying to rush the free kick setup, but officials not letting them, making sure they're taking it from the appropriate spot. Speicher sets up for this kick. A little too far, I would say, for a shot. Speicher kicks it, and it's taken off the hop. See, that's a distance where you actually don't want it to be a straight-on angle. If it's closer, you want a straight-on angle so that the shooter can go anywhere they want. But when it's that far out and you have to go for an attempted pass, you want it from an angle so you can go for something similar to a corner kick. This kick is walled, and it's recovered by Weymouth, passed out to Rodriguez. Rodriguez dribbles, pass up, and Fitzgerald accidentally runs over Walty on that play, commits the foul, and it'll be a free kick for Weymouth. Souza signals, boots it, deflects, and a diving snag by Smagula. It wasn't a fast-moving ball, but it was headed right for the corner, and so Smagula had to lay out for that one. Applebaum's kick deflected, intercepted by the Wildcats. Pass up for Fasoli, and a nice pass, charging in, shot saved by Smagula! He denies Walty on that shot. Beautiful pass by Fasoli, but Walty just could not capitalize. Nice diving stop by Alex Smagula. He would not be fooled on that one as Walty tried to go for a safer, softer shot. Now that shot blocked by Speicher. And Lawrence just boots it out of bounds so that Brookline can regroup defensively after nearly giving up the game's first goal. Big stop by Alex Smagula that time. As that one rolls out of bounds, nice boxing out job by Lawrence. As he now looks for the throw-in option. Deflects off of McDevitt the wrong way, and Souza has to tap it back to Gianandrea, who can't grab it, and so he just slices it out of bounds. And Brookline will get a throw-in deep in Wildcats territory. Lawrence coming up to throw it in. Into the box it goes. Bicycle kick, or well, not a full bicycle, but, you know, kicked it over his head. But Nicoli's kick too high. Subs checking in on both sides for Brookline number 10, Danmarth Dovillier, and number 15, Santi Sierra. Replace Jacob Friedman and Jeffrey Dong. For Weymouth, number 14, Garrett Burke into the game, replacing Braden McDevitt. Upfield, and Nicoli in pursuit. Pass is forced. Barely kept in bounds by Burke, but it deflects off Rodriguez out of bounds. Speicher decides to throw it back to Lawrence. Lawrence slides it back to Speicher. Speicher to the middle. Nicoli touches it out for Lawrence. Kicked up by Burke. Rodriguez tried to down it. Speicher swoops in and takes it. Speicher towards the middle. Taps it across for Grady Ames. Knocked away. Cleared out by Rodriguez. Blocked by Nicoli. Ames recovers. Touch pass out near side to Lawrence. Lawrence surveying. Jukes out the defender. Charging in. Shaw. Not enough juice on it, and it's an easy stop for Gianandrea. Some nice dribbling by Wally Lawrence, but couldn't get a powerful enough shot off his left foot there. John Andrea punts this one. Rodriguez poked loose by Spicer, but kicked up by Burke. Race for the ball, who touched it last? And it's Weymouth ball. A sub checking in now for the Wildcats, number 15, Ali Bowie. Throw in. Off the deflection, it's taken by Nicoli. Nicoli racing up with it. Walty on his back there, knocks it loose, and it's taken away by Silva. Couple of passes out to the far side, now cut off by Littman as they were trying to get to Primo. Now cleared out by Applebaum, kicked back by Pujols. The other way by Spicer, now Primo recovers. Pass out far side for Gabe Ray. Ray passes it back for Pujols. Back up to Ray. Ray disturbed from behind, couldn't keep control, lost it out of bounds. Throw in, and another loss of control, this time by Brookline. Weymouth gets the throw in, into Fasoli, popped up for Primo. Deflected, a shot, and it's a bouncer well wide. Might have been blocked by the Brookline defense as it's recovered by Bowie. Pass back to Burke, back up to Bowie, and his pass blocked by Spicer out of bounds. Quick throw in from Fasoli. Deflects over to Bowie, winds, fires, couldn't get enough on that one, and it's an easy save for Smagula. It took a bit of a weird ricochet, but he stays on top of it. Smagula boots it across midfield, goes off the head of Souza. Now off the head of Fasoli, booted away now by Fitzgerald, and that's going to fly out of bounds, Weymouth ball. We're about 15 minutes into the first half here. No score as of yet out here in Weymouth. The throw into Bowie, knocked away by Spicer, but goes right back to Flynn, who boots it away. Knocked back by Littman. Off the head, off a couple of heads. Primo kicks it, but it goes right to Applebaum, who boots it the other way. Up to Lawrence. Lawrence could not dribble around Pujols. Pujols passes to Walty. Walty dribbles around one, kicks it up the far sideline, but Littman's going to win that race to the ball and kick it away. Hard collision there, and they call the foul on Dauvilliers. It'll be a free kick from midfield as Souza quickly passes it up to Burke. Burke kicks it, curving into the box, and it's down, corralled by Weymouth, pass back, nobody there, and Applebaum boots it up, deflects back, and booted up again by Lockwood. Souza chasing down that loose ball. Passes up to Pujols, who dribbles back and gives it back to Souza. Souza swings it across for Burke. Burke up to Bowie. Tight space for Weymouth as Weymouth lost it out of bounds. Ames looking for the throw in. Into the box, it flies off the head of, I want to say, Walty. Spicer downs it, gives to Lockwood, but Fasoli was disrupting that one. Lockwood has to battle to keep possession, and he gets it back to Spicer. Spicer winds and kicks one across to the far side to Lawrence. Lawrence lost his balance, and it's taken away by Pujols, who also lost his balance as it's knocked loose, but it is passed up to Primo. Primo passes it up to Walty. Walty boots it. And that's going to bounce upfield. Ray trying to keep it in. Ray does not keep it in. Loses it out the back line. Goal kick for Brookline. A sub on both sides for Weymouth, number 10, Diogo Morera into the game. replacing Gabe Ray, and for Brookline, number 18, Josh Bittner, replaces Koya Nicoli. Smagula again just gives it to Littman. Littman swings it over to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald runs up with it, now kicks it across midfield, deflected. Now controlled by Silva. Now Primo, pass it into open space for Morera. Sends it out far side. Kicked up. Walty, a header, wrong angle. And it goes out of bounds. Another goal kick for Brookline as Weymouth got another scary opportunity there. Smagula. That one deflects off the foot of Dauvilliers, gets to Lawrence. Lawrence kicks it up for Bittner. Bittner looking for Dauvilliers. Oh, it rolls through his legs and he could not corral it. And instead it's scooped up by Gianandrea. Punt, downed, Bittner, back to Lockwood. Across, pass up by Lawrence was blocked. Still fighting for it, and now it's cleared out by Pujols. Spicer couldn't corral it. Instead, it's taken by Bowie. Pass back to Silva. Silva sends it up the near sideline. Kicked away by Fitzgerald. Now bounces out of bounds. Throw in, off a couple of heads. Booted in the air by Sierra. Off of Lawrence's head. Now off of Ames's head, and Dauvilliers comes down with it. Dauvilliers, too much traffic. It's kicked away, but right to Lawrence. Lawrence boots it all the way down to the far side. Now a kick into the box off the head of Dauvilliers and over the bar. A nice connection between, I believe, Sierra and Dauvilliers there, as Jacob Friedman checks back in for Brookline, replacing Grady Ames. We got our another couple notes in the live chat from MDX Gaming, saying Alec is him after that huge diving save by Alex Smagula earlier in the half. His kick bounces over to Silva, off ahead and downed over to Bittner. Bittner pass back, Lockwood. Far side to Applebaum. Applebaum boots it up in the air. And Dauvilliers fighting for it. Dauvilliers battling with Pujols. Backing down, spins off him, running baseline, pass back, Lawrence shot, saved by Gianandrea. And Weymouth answers back that big diving save Smagula had earlier with one of their own made by Anthony Gianandrea. Some nice work by Dauvilliers along the baseline to get an opening there. Found Lawrence, who got a decent shot off, but Gianandrea with a nice diving stop. Lawrence up to Friedman. Crosser. Dauvilliers' header goes high. And now Brookline answers Weymouth's dangerous but ultimately disappointing header with one of their own, as Dauvilliers could not get that one off his head the way he wanted. This one kicked up by Flynn, tapped a couple of times upfield, now blocked by Spicer. Gets tapped back to Littman. Boots it across midfield. Flynn slices it up in the air. Still battling for the ball. Friedman gets it, pass. Oh, just gets away from Lawrence. Now Lockwood. Gets control and passes back to Spicer, back up to Lockwood. Disrupted there by Morera. That kick deflected by Fasoli, now deflected by Applebaum, out of bounds. Subbing in for Weymouth now, number 17, Kawan Viana. And two more subs, number 9, Richard Furtado, and number 21, Sandro Marone. They're going to replace Daniel Silva, Ali Bowie, and Mason Fasoli. Off the throw, and it's booted up by Pujols. Off the head. Off another head, and another as it's downed by Friedman briefly, but now taken away by, I think, Walty. Now knocked loose by Spicer, blocked back by Burke. Lockwood recovers, passes to Spicer. Spicer fighting along the near sideline. Pass blocked by Morera. Morera blocked by Lockwood. Lockwood passes it back to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald boots it. Headed away by Souza. Kicked upfield, taken by Littman. Littman pass up the middle for Bittner. But it's taken away by Morera. Pass out for Furtado. Furtado running up the near side. Sending a leading pass for Viana. But cut off by Fitzgerald, and he even manages to get a pass back to Smagula. Smagula upfield finds Dovillier. Dovillier fights his way through Burke. His pass not enough on it, kicked away by Morera. Now Burke to Morera, up for Furtado, but taken away by Lockwood. Now left for Dovillier, back to Spicer. Spicer's pass gets through to Bittner. Bittner back to Dovillier, cut off by Viana, out of bounds. But they say last touched by Brookline, it'll be a Weymouth throw-in. Throw-in, booted away by Lockwood. Back to Souza. Souza boots it away. Bounces past Littman, but Applebaum back there to get it. This one goes off ahead, and they call Souza for over the back. Or no, they call Brookline. It might have been an offsides maybe, or maybe a handball. Either way, a free kick for Weymouth. As they go out far side, they go to Marone. Back to Pujols. Pass up, finds its target, and Primo gets tripped up and draws the foul. 14:40 on the clock here in the second half, in the first half, excuse me, here in the first half. Oh, not again. Another brief disconnect. Not sure what's going on here. I mean, at least it's not choppy, but these occasional disconnections are quite annoying. Pass goes all the way back to Souza. Now Pujols kicks it upfield, blocked. Lawrence taps it back to Applebaum. Kicks it upfield, blocked by Flynn. Up to Furtado. Now he gets up to Walty. Walty cutting towards the middle, pass across. Now a tap forward for Walty again. He gets tangled up with Fitzgerald. And Weymouth was fishing for a call, but Walty was holding on to Fitzgerald and pulling him into that tackle, so there's no way they were going to call that. As that one bounces along, it's corralled, and Viana gets the favorable deflection. It'll be a Weymouth throw-in. Burke throws it in and lost control of it. It'll be a Brookline throw-in. Couple subs checking in for Brookline. Jeffrey Dong and Grady Ames back in the game, and also in it for the first time is number 12 Ryan Goldberg, as Souza comes up with a big kick away there, gets a bit tangled up with Dong. As now Marone passes back to Pujols, pass up to Marone. Now knocked away, taken by Brookline. Pass across to Lawrence. Lawrence trying to cut up field, and it's knocked out of bounds. Brookline ball. Furtado on the defense that time. Lawrence throws it back to Lippman, to Applebaum, back to Lippman. Lippman kicks it, walled down, but recovered now. A pass back for Bittner, further back to Speicher. Speicher kicks it, and too far. Another Brookline substitution I missed earlier, number 13, Julian Weil into the game. "11 minutes on the clock here in the first half. No score between Brookline and Weymouth. Souza kicks this one. And it's corralled by Applebaum. His kick deflected. And now controlled by Morera. Pass up to Viana. To the far side, pass back. Kicked up field, and Furtado misread the bounce. Might have been fooled by Speicher on that one, as Speicher sends it up the line, blocked by Burke. And he keeps it in bounds. Gets it up to Furtado. Pass back. Flynn knocks it down, but it's corralled by Goldberg. Goldberg passing across, couldn't get to Lawrence, cut off by Pujols. Up to Viana. Now to Furtado. Pass blocked by Speicher. Speicher's kick blocked by Furtado. Goldberg swoops in and takes it. Slices that kick, and it's blocked down and controlled briefly by Marone, but taken away. Now Dong with the ball. Pass to the middle, Lawrence. Lawrence out to Applebaum. Applebaum sends it up the line, kick to the middle, popped up by Marone, deflecting back and forth, knocked down. Lawrence tried to corral it, knocked away by Morera. Now Applebaum kicks it towards the middle, booted away hard by Furtado, and that flies out of bounds. He actually got a nice curve on that one to make it so Brookline's throwing a little bit further back towards their own territory. Off the deflections, it's booted up in the air by Weymouth. Controlled by Walty. And now taken by Bittner. Taps it up. Weil chasing after it. Slips and can't keep it in bounds. It'll be a goal kick. 5 subs coming in for Weymouth, all returning to the field. Daniel Silva, Gabe Ray, Mason Fasoli, Gabriel Rodriguez, and Braden McDevitt. Goal kick from Weymouth, gets up to Silva. Silva kicks a leader, blocked by Lippman. Now sent back from Bittner to Lippman. Lippman boots it, knocked down by Silva. Controlled by Primo, passes back to Pujols. Pujols up to Primo. Now sends it back to Silva, across to McDevitt. McDevitt dribbles around, pass forward, gets to Primo. Primo, pass out to Rodriguez. Rodriguez cutting, pass blocked by Speicher and kicked away by Applebaum. Headed back by Silva. Off the head of Rodriguez and down. Tangled up, it's taken by Weymouth. But now a bunch of ricochets, and Bittner taps it back to Lippman, who boots it across midfield. Chasing it down, Pujols just lets it roll out of bounds for the throw-in. 7.5 to go here in the first half, still no score. Off the throw-in, a battle for the ball. Primo staying with it. Shakes off his defenders and passes up to Rodriguez, but steamrolled by the defensive Speicher. Speicher fires a kick, but not a lot of juice on it, and it's picked up easily by Gianandrea. And this one, a nice header forward, but kicked away by Littman. Corralled by Ames. Pass out to Goldberg. Goldberg pass almost intercepted by Fasoli, but does get back to Littman. Up to Bittner and out to Applebaum. Up the line, Lawrence. Lawrence, that leader way too far for Weil, and it's controlled by Gianandrea. This one punted across midfield off the head of Littman. Swooping in is Primo. Primo charging in, a pass blocked at the last second by Fitzgerald. That one was headed right for the foot of Cameron Walty, but Fitzgerald, who's been such a big defensive key for Brookline this season, comes through with a big block there. Corner kick for Weymouth. Flies in. Deflected and kicked out. But right to Pujols. Pujols kick forward for Ames. Ames dribbling with it. Cuts across. Cuts back the other way. Shot. And couldn't get much juice on it. And it's a relatively easy stop. But Gianandrea lost control of it. And it goes out the back line just barely. It's going to be a corner kick for Brookline. I think they're sending Goldberg out to the far corner to kick this one in. 4.5 on the clock here in the first half. Kick flies in on top of the net. And that'll simply be a goal kick. Had some good curve on it, but just a little too much height. As Brookline sends in 4 subs, Jacob Friedman, Danmarth Dovillier, Koya Nicoli, and Nate Lockwood back into the game as they replace Julian Weil, Wally Lawrence, Josh Bittner, and Ryan Goldberg. This one kicked right up the middle. Friedman takes it but couldn't get enough on it for a pass. And it's kicked away by McDevitt. Now a battle at midfield. And it's kicked forward by Walty. Now that kick blocked a couple of times, but chased down by Primo, but knocked loose by Lockwood. Lockwood kicks a leader. Deflects off the body of Dovillier. Now Friedman chasing after it. Friedman across her into the box. Nicoli heads it in! Koya Nicoli off the header. Let's take a look at that one again. It starts with a nice steal at midfield by Nate Lockwood. Kicked it forward, deflects off Dovillier, and Friedman chase it down. Sends in a beautiful left-footed crosser, and Nicoli heads it down into the net perfectly. And Brookline takes the 1-0 lead with 3:19 on the clock here in the first half. Koya Nicoli off the assist from Jacob Friedman. Friedman, who had the goal on Tuesday against Framingham, gets the assist this time. Brookline trying to work it forward again. Ames boots it up in the air. Dovillier breaking away for it. Dovillier charging in. Couldn't get a clean shot off. Disrupted from behind by Pujols. It does roll out the back end, and it's going to be a goal kick. They set up Souza for the goal kick. 2.5 on the clock here in the first half. Once it reaches 2 minutes, the clock is going to stop for stoppage time. And then only the officials will know when the half ends. We got a foul call against Friedman there, and Weymouth will get the free kick. Flynn passes it out to Pujols. Now up the line. Pass back Souza. His kick blocked by Friedman. Couple of deflections and now kicked up field. Goes off the head of Flynn the wrong way, and Dauvilliers trying to put on the Jets once again, but Souza is going to get there first. Souza simply holding the ball and now kicks it up the line. And it's kicked further, and Weymouth stringing some kicks together, but now it's blocked by Littman. Lockwood taps it over. Pass across to Ames from Nicoli, but Ames gets tangled up and the ball taken away by Silva. Pass goes back to Souza. Pops it up looking for Rodriguez. Rodriguez does keep it in bounds. Spicer was looking for some kind of call, but did not get it as Fitzgerald is forced to kick it out of bounds. Quick throw in from Fasoli. Deflected back. Friedman kicks it away. Into open space. Dauvilliers gets there first. Couldn't spin fully off the defender. Ray was coming in to help, but Dauvilliers does keep it in bounds. Ray takes it back. Couple of passes. Now intercepted by Littman. Littman kicks it. Stopped by Flynn. Souza's pass gets up to Rodriguez. Rodriguez sends it up for McDevitt. And Spicer and Fitzgerald combined to boot that one away. Fitzgerald, he kicks a souvenir ball into the stands. And it looks like, did they call halftime or is that a timeout? It's a timeout. We're not at halftime yet, but a timeout was called here in stoppage time. During this timeout break, I remind you this broadcast is brought to you in part by Esch Dental, located right in Coolidge Corner. Book your next dental appointment with local dentist and BHS sports parent, Dr. Brandon Esch, for the non-corporate personalized dentistry our community deserves. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eschdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to eashdental.com. All that information you can find in the description section down below. And I see we got some folks getting active in live chat. Like to see that. Weymouth getting ready for a throw-in deep in the Brookline end. Must have called timeout to try and plan for what they're going to try and do here, as this might be one of their last chances to attack before the halftime break. The throw-in, headed back, almost right in front of the net there. Waltzy almost got a clean foot on it, but just barely. It ended up just hanging in the air for Smagula to swoop in and take. Weymouth started to go back on the attack, but there is the double whistle for halftime. Our score at the half, Brookline 1, Weymouth 0. Brookline with the lone goal so far here coming on this play as we take another look at the replay of the goal scored by Koya Nicoli, assisted by Jacob Friedman. As we head into this halftime break, I remind you once again, this broadcast brought to you in part by Esch Dental, located right in Coolidge Corner. You can see their logo in the bottom center of your screen. Book your next dental appointment with local dentist and BHS sports parent, Dr. Brandon Esch, for the non-corporate personalized dentistry our community deserves. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eschdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to eashdental.com. And you can find that stuff down in the description section down below, as well as a link to the official Venmo account for the Friends of BHS Soccer Booster Club. The Friends of BHS Soccer Booster Club supports all 6 Brookline High soccer teams, boys and girls, varsity, JV, and freshmen. So if you would like to support them, check out that link down in the description section. And you can also see a link and phone number for our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Community Foundation. For over 100 years, the Brookline Community Foundation has been a trusted partner, supporting Brookline by investing in organizations and initiatives that help create opportunity and promote equity for everyone who lives, learns, works, and plays in our community. Among the foundation's many grant programs is the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School, which provides graduating BHS students with scholarships to help fund post-secondary education. To date, through the first 10 years of the scholarship, they have raised about $1.5 million in scholarship funding for graduating BHS students. Your help is crucial to supporting Brookline youth as they embark on the next steps in their educational journeys. Visit brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442 to learn more about the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School and how you can make a difference right here in Brookline. Once again, 617-566-4442 or go online to brooklinecommunity.org. And you can find all of that in the description section down below. But for now, we are going to go to break. I'm going to take a break and mute the mic, but I'll be back with coverage of the second half of this ball game. Stay tuned. Hello again, everybody. Back on the mic. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, coming to you live from Weymouth High School in Weymouth, Massachusetts. Here to bring you the second half of today's high school varsity boys soccer contest between the Brookline High Warriors and the Weymouth High Wildcats. Brookline holding a 1-0 lead over the Wildcats off a first half header goal from Koya Nicoli, assisted by Jacob Friedman. This identical to the score the two teams played to last year when they played in October of 2023 in Brookline. The Warriors took that win, but Weymouth ultimately went on to finish that season last year as the 5th seed in Division 1. Brookline is the 6th seed. Brookline lost in an upset in the round of 16 to Winchester, while Weymouth went all the way to the Final Four before losing to eventual state champion Concord Carlisle. Here we go, start of the second half. Brookline with the opening possession. Nate Lockwood boots it up the near side for Wally Lawrence, but it's headed away by Gabe Ray. Now that pass intercepted by Michael Primo. And after a couple of takeaways, Weymouth now takes full control, but that one knocked out of bounds by Ben Speicher. Oh, looks like we've got a sub in the opening minutes as Mason Fasoli coming out. Hopefully he is okay. That is a strange time for a substitution, but in for him is Ali Bowie as Weymouth throws it in on the far side. Tapped back, goes back to Sean Flynn, across to Mateus Souza. Now out to Nate Pujols. Pujols looking, pass, ricochets through, gets up to Ray. Ray's kick towards the middle, finds its target, and Walty's shot deflects off of a defender. I think that was Fitzgerald again who deflected that one. Either Jack Fitzgerald or Jonah Littman got their body on that shot, attempted by Cameron Walty. And now it'll be a corner kick for the Wildcats as Primo sets up. Flanked by Bowie. Now Bowie sent out, so not a short pass. Primo kicks it in low, and it's blocked by Brookline's Wally Lawrence, who boots it high and out of bounds. It'll now be a throw-in for Weymouth. Throw-in goes from Pujols into Bowie, kicked away by, I think, Lockwood, but it deflects out of bounds off the body of Friedman. Pujols throws it in, deflected by Lockwood again. Pujols kicks it forward. Blocked by Travis Applebaum, but now recovered by Bowie. Bowie looking, crosser sails over the bar, and that'll be a goal kick for Brookline. Alex Magula taps it in for Fitzgerald. Pass up the middle to Lockwood. His pass to the outside wasn't in the right spot, intercepted. Some quick passing. Walty to Primo, shot blocked, recovered. Walty trying to fight his way through, cannot. Too much traffic, goes out far side. This kick from Rodriguez up in the air, caught by Smagula as he robs a header chance away from Ali Bowie. He punts it off ahead, downed, and corralled by Lawrence. Pass back to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald boots it Deflects outside, and another attempted pass. Not there as it's kicked out of bounds. Friedman tosses it back to Speicher to throw in. Throw in. Gets to, I think, Grady Ames, and that kick knocked out of bounds. That's the problem with these. I love these games under the lights, but at the same time, the further into the game it gets, the harder it is for me to identify the jersey numbers of the players on the far side of the field. Throw in towards the box. Bouncing down. Race for the ball. Friedman tries to tap it, but it's recovered by Rodriguez. His kick blocked out of bounds by Friedman, and now Weymouth gets the throw in. Throw in for Bowie. Taps it forward, taken away by Lockwood. Pass to Applebaum. And that pass cut away by Souza. Fitzgerald recovers it. Forward pressure behind him from Ray. He sends it back to Smagula, who pops it up in the air. Off the head of Applebaum, off the foot of Friedman. Now off the head of Souza. Goes up to Walty. Walty turns around, kicks it forward to Ray. Ray cut off by Littman. And his kick could not stay in bounds. And it'll be another Weymouth throw-in. Miscommunication there as it's kicked away immediately by Brookline, but controlled now by Ray. Ray blocked by Applebaum, but it rolls out of bounds. Quick throw-in for Ray. Kicks it towards the middle. A shot sailed high. Oh, that was a golden chance for Cameron Walty, and you know he wants that one back. A perfect crosser from Gabe Ray. Created a great chance, but Walty's kick just flew a little too high off his foot. Goal kick is corralled by Jeffrey Dong, but he slices his kick up in the air. Applebaum manages to corral it. Pass gets away from Friedman, knocked away by Souza. Now Ames tries to send a pass up. Now Friedman kicks it off the body of Souza. Kept not in bounds. Out of bounds, Brookline ball. Throws it back to Applebaum. Applebaum slices that one. I think he was trying to put some curve on it, but a little too much. Corralled along the far side by Brookline. A couple of passes. It goes back to Speicher. That pass broken up. Speicher staying with it, but it is corralled by Walty. Pass across Primo. Primo off and running. Pass up for Ray. Cut off by Littman. Littman pass up Friedman. Friedman kicks it forward. Bounces off the back of Ames's foot. Taken away by Daniel Silva. Pass up to Walty. Walty sends it forward. Ray with a chance. Gets tangled up with Fitzgerald and Applebaum, and it's kicked away. Recovered shot Primo. Jump save by Smagula. But that stop owed mainly to the combined efforts of Jack Fitzgerald and I believe Travis Applebaum. I'm not entirely sure, but that would have been a huge chance for Gabe Ray if he had not gotten tangled up with the defense. Throw-in goes to Ray, knocked away by Fitzgerald. Out of bounds again, another Weymouth throw-in. Off the throw-in. Fighting through. Attempted pass for, I think, Primo. Blocked by Littman. And now lost out the back end as Weymouth just ran out of room. It's a goal kick for Brookline. Smagula. Off ahead. Downed by Dong. And knocked out of bounds by Souza. No, they say last touched by Dong. Pujols throws it in. Couple deflections. Booted away by Littman. Off the head of Dong. Flynn cuts off Friedman and kicks it out of bounds. Brookline throw in, and now 2 subs coming in for Brookline. Number 10, Danmarth Dovillier, and number 15, Santi Sierra. They replace Jacob Friedman and Jeffrey Dong. Applebaum throws it in. Off the head. Now booted away. That's going to fly out of bounds and be Brookline ball. Applebaum throws it in off the head of Pujols, out of bounds. Throw in, deflects off ahead, booted away by Pujols. And taken by Ray, and he gets run over by Fitzgerald, and the foul is called. The free kick flies upfield off the head of Walty. Wait, oh, they must have called offsides on Weymouth. As now Fitzgerald takes a free kick. That's headed down. Swooping in for it is Sierra, but it's taken away by Bowie. Now pass up from Walty to Ray. Ray being cut off by Littman, but Ray fights through him, charging in. Looking around, stopped by Applebaum, and he keeps it in bounds. And gets the favorable deflection out of bounds. Big stop by Travis Applebaum there. Throw in, booted back by Pujols. Walled down by Fitzgerald, and Applebaum kicks it away. Souza trips up Dovillier, and then gets tripped up by Lawrence. No call either way. The ref's letting him play. As Walty running with it. Pass a leader, a kick towards the box. They get tangled up, and it's, whoa, just barely cleared out. Combined efforts of Fitzgerald and Littman, with Smagula running out there to hit that ball away, make sure it had no chance of floating into the net there. It will be a corner kick for the Wildcats. Back in the game is Mason Fasoli. Seems like he's all right after subbing out in the opening minutes of the second half, and it looks like he's going to be taking this corner kick for Weymouth. 28.5 minutes on the clock here in the second half. 1-0 the Brookline lead. Fasoli's kick deflects up high. Now headed away by the Brookline defense. Dovillier kicks it over his head forward. Now he heads it forward. Kicked back by, I think, number 14, Garrett Burke. Dovillier recovers it, kicks it upfield. Now Souza takes it and passes it up to Fasoli. Fasoli trying to tap it forward, but kicked away again by Littman. Out of bounds, Weymouth ball. Pujols throws in, gets to Primo, taps it forward for Fasoli, boxed out by Applebaum, and that's going to be a free kick. A few feet of difference between the foul call and the corner kick call. As Applebaum just kind of hip-checked him there, trying to box him out from getting the ball. This one flies in, header over the bar, and again, shots flying over the bar. Continues to curse the Wildcats in this one. I didn't quite see who got their head on that one, but they had a really nice chance there, but just didn't get the angle of flight they wanted. Checking in for Brookline, number 18, Josh Bittner, replaces Koya Nicoli. Smagula with the goal kick. Bouncing upfield, it's deflected up in the air, off ahead. Wild bouncing. And it's recovered by Dauvilliers. Dauvilliers off and running with it, but lost control of his dribble, and it's knocked away by Pujols. Up to Primo, over to Fasoli, back to Primo. Primo, pass forward for Walty. Now the last pass blocked by Littman, recovered by Walty. Walty trying to dribble around, tries a shot, blocked by the feet of Fitzgerald. And now Brookline coming away with it. A pass upfield misses Dauvilliers, and it's taken by Souza. Souza kick sails over the head of Fasoli, out of bounds. Throw in, Lawrence manages to tap it up the line, but Souza boots it right back the other way, and it's going to be downed by Smagula. He can pick this up whenever he wants, and he does as Gabe Ray was coming in. That, to me, looked like a time-killing measure there. As the pass now goes up to Lawrence. Lawrence weaves. Lawrence charging in. Pass across. Knocked away. And cleared out by, I believe, Bowie. Charging in to take it is Speicher. But loses it. Stolen away. Kicked back by Fitzgerald. Flynn called for the foul as he got too physical guarding Dauvilliers. Brookline gets a free kick. Deep in Weymouth territory. Setting up for the free kick is Lawrence. There's the kick. Scores! Wally Lawrence! He sent that one under the wall of defenders as he went for a low kick, and it worked to perfection. Let's take a look at that one again. You can see the defensive wall getting set up right in front of Lawrence. It's their job to try and block any shot, but he shoots it under them. Might have been a little around them as they formed a bit of a gap, and he sent that one to the left post, right to left. Perfect shot, and Brookline takes the 2-0 lead. A huge insurance score from the Brookline junior. That one rolls out of bounds, and I'm going to warn you folks, with 24 minutes left, okay, looks like we had a Wi-Fi cutout at the same time. That I swapped out the battery, but it's all good. And the clock has stopped running. And now here's a goal kick from Smagula. And two players get tangled up, and they call the foul on Walty there. This one booted up in the air off the head of Lawrence. And oh, the official almost got in the way of Pujols there. And now Brookline pressing forward, but it's kicked away by Pujols. Flies out the back line. That's going to be a corner kick. Boy, if the ref bumping into Pujols had ended up creating some kind of a score for Brookline, the fans would have gone nuts out here in Weymouth. That would have been so unfortunate. Looks like they've got Wally Lawrence setting up to send in this corner kick. This one curves in, headed away Pujols again on defense for the Wildcats. Now Bittner passes up, and they call offsides as Ames was past the defense. Souza kicks this one across midfield. Littman pops it back the other way. Off the head of Sierra. Lawrence slices that one out of bounds. Throw in. And tangled up there was Fasoli and Lawrence, and that's going to be a free kick for Weymouth as Lawrence tripped up Fasoli there. They set up Souza to kick this one, and he launches one towards the net, and Smagula catches it. Kicks this one up to Lawrence. Lawrence kicks it forward, a leading kick. Racing up for it is Ames. Boxed out by Sean Flynn. And the goalie, Gianandrea, comes out to take it. Boots this one. This one's going really far. And Littman heads it and now kicks it out of bounds. And a timeout now called by Weymouth. (2-0) the Brookline lead here with 20 minutes to go. We are midway through the second half. And looks like we had a bit of an oracle in our live chat here as Jonas Balaban apparently, as they were lining up for that free kick, he said, "We score in this," and then afterwards said, "OMG, what I say." And MDX Gaming saying, "What a bang," and I'd have to agree with you, MDX, as we take another look at the replay there. Absolutely beautiful shot from Wally Lawrence, his third year on the varsity team after making it as a freshman. And going for a rising curve shot like that, whereas usually when you go for a shot on a free kick, you go for You know what I think was happening? I think because I had my phone placed right next to my laptop, I think my phone might have been getting a little overheated there, and that's why we kept having these cutouts. But we're okay now. Out of the timeout. Throw in. Headed out of bounds. Goal kick taken by Littman. Off the head of Souza. Now off the head of Applebaum. And it was a handball called against Brookline, against one of the players who recently checked in. That's number 9, Maury Shende Ruiz, on the field for the first time today. He checked in alongside Jacob Friedman. Souza boots this one. Tangled up and controlled by Walty. The defense swarming, but Walty fighting through him. Passes back to Furtado. Crosser to the middle is booted up in the air. And several players scrumming for it, and it's knocked out of the box. But Weymouth knocks it back in now. Cleared out. An insane play there. Almost ends up with a goal for Weymouth. They're not giving up on the rush here, though. Still pursuing an attack Brookline trying to keep them away, but Weymouth relentless in their pursuit on the attack, and we got a delayed foul called against Brookline. They let Weymouth try to play the advantage there, but once Brookline took it away, they called the foul. Looks like they're setting up Cameron Waltzy to take the free kick. Eerily similar distance to where Lawrence shot his goal from. It looks like Waltzy is being flanked by Michael Primo and number 21, Sandro Marone. Couple fakes. Now the shot from Waltzy deflects down. Diving save by Smagula. Alex Smagula, he's had a few really nice stops today in net, trying to record his second career shutout in net today as Brookline controlling the ball. Speicher sends it across to Applebaum, who dribbles it up. Pass to the middle, finds Lawrence. Lawrence. Pass back, Lippman up to Lawrence. Now passes further back. And it's Smagula who picks it up, and we got an injured Brookline player down. That's Lawrence. And okay, looks like he's okay, and we continue. And it looks like it's going to be a drop ball right in front of Smagula, since there was an injury called in the middle of live play. Smagula takes it off the drop, and the clock resumes. A little less than 17 minutes left in this one. Off the punt. It's tapped forward, but kicked back by Pujols. Back the other way by Josh Bittner. Now controlled by Diogo Moreira. Couldn't dribble through Bittner. Shende Ruiz gets it up to Bittner. Tapped away, but recovered by Sierra. Santi Sierra passes it back to Applebaum. Applebaum tangled up, and getting the favorable deflection was number 9, Richard Furtado. And it looks like Travis Applebaum is coming out a little shaken up, as number 12, Ryan Goldberg, checks into the game. Bouncing in, it's taken by Lawrence, who appears to be taking Applebaum's spot at the wing back. Shende Ruiz battled with that one, but Burke did get the ball away, but now it's taken away. Far side, racing up with it, a pass, blocked. Cleared away by the Wildcats. Primo looking for somewhere to go, kicks it upfield. It's downed by Lippman. Pass up to Bittner. Bittner up the far side. Dribbling with it now. Cutting towards the middle. Knocked away, recovered by Goldberg. Goldberg winds and fires, and his shot is blocked. Goldberg tries again, gets tangled up, and it's cleared out. Lippman. Dribbling around, his pass intercepted by Furtado. Furtado's pass, swooping in, taking it away is Fitzgerald. Sends it forward for Lawrence. And the foul is called on Brookline as they knocked over Furtado. Just under 15 minutes to go. Brookline leads by 2. Souza kicks one. And it's taken off the bounce by Smagula. Rolled in. Passed upfield. Misses Ames, but is knocked out of bounds by Burke. Subs coming in on both sides for Brookline. Koya Nicoli, Jeffrey Dong, and Nate Lockwood back into the game. For Weymouth, looks to be number 8, Gabe Ray, number 15, Ollie Bowie, and I think I saw number 11, Mason Fasoli coming back in. Throw in. Off the deflection, out of bounds. Throw in for Weymouth. Blocked by Fitzgerald, and he got the favorable deflection. Brookline ball. This throw in up the line, kicked away by, I think, Flynn. Kicked back the other way by Littman, and that's going to fly out of bounds. This throw in. Deflects back, Flynn. Across to Pujols. Pujols kicks it up over the head of Goldberg to Fasoli. Fasoli. His crosser flies into the box, headed down, and Smagula opts to fall on it. Smagula punts it. Off the bounce, Jeffrey Dong appears to be hurt, but he's hobbling along with the play as it continues. Pujols, pass knocked away by Goldberg. Shende Ruiz couldn't take control of it. Back and forth, it deflects. Now Weymouth with it. Primo, pass, intercepted by Goldberg. Sends it up to Lockwood and back to Goldberg. Now up to Lawrence. Lawrence, kick deflects out of bounds off Fasoli. Lawrence rifles it in. Friedman off and running after it, but cut off as Souza gets the favorable deflection out of bounds. Weymouth ball. Weymouth deep in their own end on the throw-in. Pujols throw-in deflects out of bounds. Might have been expecting a Brookline player to be there to get the favorable deflection, but it did not work out. Instead, Brookline gets the throw-in deep in the Weymouth end. Lawrence throws it in. Header booted up in the air by Friedman, but couldn't kick it towards the net. Kicked out of bounds by the Weymouth defense, and it will be Brookline ball. Shende Ruiz was trying to get in position to get a better kick on that one, but I think it was Souza who came in and kicked that one away. Another Brookline throw-in, this one probably flying towards the box. Deflects down and is booted up in the air by Morera. Brookline had it for a second, stolen away by Walty. Kicks it upfield, racing after it, Fasoli. Fasoli boxed out by Littman. Fasoli a quick throw-in. Deflected, Goldberg boots it away. Ray was closing in on that one, but was surrounded by defenders on all sides. That pass deflects back, and Walty knocked over from behind, and there is the foul call. Walty went down a little hard on that one as there was a Brookline player right in front of him that he kind of rolled into, but he seems to be okay. This will be a free kick for Weymouth. Here comes the kick. They go for a pass down for the baseline, and that crosser goes off the upright of the football. And we got a bunch of subs checking in for Brookline. Travis Applebaum back into the game among them. Goal kick taken. Bounces up to Dauvilliers. Tries a pass back, cut off by Fasoli. Across to Walty. Walty on the rush. Pass kicked away by Applebaum. Off a couple of heads. Crowd by Weymouth. Passed back to Flynn. Over to Souza. Now out to Pujols. Pujols gets tripped up by Nicoli, and the foul is called. 8 minutes on the clock here in the second half. Brookline leads Weymouth 2-0. That one goes off the head of Lawrence. Now Julian Weil taking off with it. Sliding pass. Could not get to Dauvilliers. Kicked away by Flynn. Headed down. And we got an injured Weymouth player. That is Souza. And so a few subs coming in, and Souza is actually coming off looking hobbled. Hopefully he's okay. He's been such a big part of the Weymouth defense today. And so it'll be a drop ball for Weymouth. Pujols passes it out to a newcomer now, number 22, as they try and work it near side, out of bounds, stays Weymouth ball. That's number 22, Rodney Lopes, who's into the game, as Fasoli battling with a defender on his back, could not get past Lockwood, and now kicked up by Lopes and recovered briefly by Ray, and everybody's tripping over this ball. Everyone's throwing their hands up on both sides. Everybody wants a foul. And finally one is called, and it's called on Brookline just outside the box. They set up for another free kick. 7.5 minutes on the clock. Looks like they got Fasoli and one more that might be having a little trouble seeing the number, but they bring out another one. That's Gabe Ray. So I think it's Fasoli, Ray, and Bowie. And Fasoli's kick walled by the defense. Fasoli taps it forward to Ray. Ray tries a crosser, blocked. Or no, he whiffed on it. Out of bounds, goal kick. Wi-Fi is starting to give us some issues late in this one. I don't like to see that. Oops. Couple deflections around midfield, now controlled by Weymouth. Pass goes up to Morera. His kick blocked, recovered by Nicoli. Pass up for Dauvilliers. Dauvilliers racing past the defense. Dauvilliers charging in, shot, scores! Danmarth Dauvilliers! How about that? Koya Nicoli had the first goal of the game. Now this time a beautiful pass, and Dauvilliers, great tap to himself to get past the defense. And then a beauty of a shot to go. Right side post, left to right on the shot. And Brookline now firmly in the lead, 3-0. I am definitely going to be uploading a recorded version because Wi-Fi going on the fritz right now. But the goal from Danmarth Dovillier, assisted by Koya Nicoli. And Brookline with a commanding 3-0 lead over a strong Weymouth team. I mean, this isn't like Brookline is facing off against a team that's low in the rankings or has a bad record. Like, Weymouth was undefeated coming into this game, and they're coming off a season where they went to the Final Four, and Weymouth answers right back. Weymouth on the board. They end the shutout. I believe that was number 8, Gabe Ray, who knocked that one in. They answered back so fast that I barely had time to process what was going on. I was still discussing some of the bigger picture stuff when Weymouth just went on a huge rush upfield. They're subbing out Diogo Moreira, but Gabriel Ray with the goal for Weymouth before the PA announcer even had time to announce Danmarth Dovillier's goal for Brookline. And now now we got a whistle. Oh, Weymouth still had to bring in the player who came in for Moreira. Now we can get going. Dovillier back to Lockwood, kicks it upfield. Lopes sends it up to Ray. Ray out far side, kicked upfield by McDevitt. Fitzgerald tries to block, but now they're racing upfield with it. And it's kicked away by Lippman as he kind of cut off Smagula from falling on that one. Weymouth in a mad rush on offense as there is now 5 minutes left in this one. The clock's about to freeze for stoppage time. Brookline still up 2. But as Weymouth has shown, they're not going to go down without a fight. Brookline going to have to finish the fight to get their first win of the year. Nicoli kicks it, blocked down. Fighting for the ball. Weymouth takes it away, works it up the far side of the field. Pass. Looks like it was assisted by, as that shot saved by Smagula. Almost a juicy rebound chance, but it's cleared out by Fitzgerald. Looks like the assist on the play went to number 23, Roman Sousa. Couple of headers back and forth and now out of the box. Couple more headers as it goes out of bounds now. Scoreboard clock frozen at 5 minutes. Only the triple whistle from the official will let us know when this one's over, as this shot from Lopes is caught by Smagula. And of course, my Wi-Fi has to go on the fritz right in the closing minutes as this is getting exciting. But don't worry, folks, I will upload the fully recorded version of this later tonight. As this one kicked up field, blocked. And now Weymouth taking it back the other way. The Wildcats not letting up on the attack. Brookline trying to clear it, and Weymouth not letting them, as that's going to be a foul on Brookline. And another free kick for the Wildcats. This kick floats in. Header high. A huge chance for Kawan Viana, but the header goes high and over the bar. Subbing in for Brookline, Jacob Friedman and Josh Bittner, replacing Danmarth Dovillier and Julian Weil. This one booted cross midfield. And it's controlled now by Fasoli. Pass far side broken up by Speicher. Speicher kicks it away from Bowie. Out of bounds. A throw in from McDevitt. Battling along the far side, running out of room. Pass back McDevitt. Taps it over. Pass from, I think, Silva was blocked by Bittner. Goes back to Flynn, who kicks it upfield. Now it's tapped forward. And Fitzgerald boxes out Walty and knocks it out of bounds. Now this one blocked by Brookline, and they're off and running with it. Kicking it further downfield. Flynn is there. Friedman in coverage. Didn't give him the favorable deflection, and this pass intercepted by Bittner. Pass up to, I believe, Ames. Ames working down the far side, trying to hold the ball in the corner as Brookline trying to survive stoppage time with a multi-goal lead. It's knocked out of bounds. Brookline ball. Brookline in clock-killing mode here late in the second half. They lead Weymouth 3-1. Throw in. Brookline heading to the corner again. And it stayed in bounds, and Weymouth clears it out. Brookline kicks it back the other way, out of bounds. Weymouth chucks it upfield across midfield. Bouncing along. Fitzgerald taps it back to Smagula, who kicks it dangerously up the middle. Sliding in was Fasoli, but Lockwood taps it to the outside to Speicher, who boots it upfield, headed down by Flynn. Deflects across the middle, swooping in and taking it is Nicoli. He's got 1 goal and 1 assist already today. This pass blocked by Fasoli. Stabbing at it was Applebaum. Nicoli, pass back, Lockwood. Lockwood's kick blocked. Out of bounds, Brookline ball. Lawrence throws it in. And it's booted out of bounds by Flynn. And Weymouth knows they are running out of time to get back in this one. But also, Brookline's got to know you can't rest on your laurels here. Weymouth has already proved with that first goal that they scored that it doesn't take them long to work their way upfield and get a goal in. Couple more throw-ins. Friedman working baseline, knocked out of bounds, and it's still going to be another throw-in as that one went off the pole in the corner. Throw in. And that's booted out the back by Friedman. That's going to be a goal kick for the Wildcats, and they're going to try and work up the field fast. This one headed forward. And there is the triple whistle. The Brookline High Warriors officially have their first win of 2024. The final score, Brookline 3. Really, another cutout? Well, hopefully that's the last cutout as we wrap this one up. Like I was saying, one note in the live chat that I thought really summed this up is from Yuli Burstein saying this is a season-changing win, and this really is the kind of signature win that can really turn a season around for a team, make them realize we can hang with some of the best teams in the state. I mean, again, Weymouth is a team that not only came into this game undefeated, but is coming off a run to the Final Four last year. Like, this is a good Weymouth team that Brookline beat today, and they absolutely earned this win. And so this could be huge going forward. Brookline got 1 goal in the first half, went into the break with a 1-0 lead, as Koya Nicoli scored the game's first goal on a header off an assist from Jacob Friedman. In the second half, they got 2 more scores. Wally Lawrence scored unassisted off a free kick. And then Danmarth Dovillier, the freshman, scoring off the assist from Nicoli. I'm not sure if that was his first goal this season, and if so, if that's his first career goal, but what a beauty of a score that was. Weymouth managed to answer Dovillier's goal very quickly on a goal by Gabriel Ray, assisted by Roman Sousa, but they could not get the full thing back, as Brookline held on to claim the victory. Well, that's going to do it for this live stream. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you once again to Esh Dental for sponsoring this video, for sponsoring this broadcast. Esh Dental, located right in Coolidge Corner. Book your next dental appointment with local dentist and BHS sports parent, Dr. Brandon Esh, for the non-corporate personalized dentistry our community deserves. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eshdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to eashdental.com. And you can find that information in the description section down below. You can also find a link to the official Venmo account for the Friends of BHS Soccer Booster Club if you would like to support Brookline High Soccer, all 6 teams, boys and girls, varsity, JV, and freshmen. And then you can also find a link and phone number for our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Community Foundation. And then you can also find some links related to me, which you can also see on the bottom right corner of your screen, my personal website, jessesports.com. Find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Or if you want to skip past all that, you can email me directly with any questions or requests you may have. And you can follow me on social media on Instagram and Facebook, where I post highlights from previous live streams and the links to upcoming live streams. But for this live stream, that's going to do it. Final score, Brookline 3, Weymouth 1. From Weymouth High School in Weymouth, Massachusetts, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.